Oh wait, no longer greatness has arrived. Welcome to the Trophy Room, a PlayStation podcast made by the players for the players. I am your host, Joseph, aka Mr. Bad Bit, and it is here where me and my best friend Kyle talk about the latest, the greatest in all things PlayStation. Of course, you can listen to this show wherever you get your podcasts and on YouTube at the Trophy Room, a PlayStation channel. Yes, things are changing. And if you like what you hear, you could drop us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or drop us a buck our way over at patreon.com/PS Trophy Room. So with all that said, and with all that out of the way, the greatest co-host whoever is, whoever will be, Mr. Kyle Stevenson, how are you, sir? Today is not a Thursday. Well, actually, today is Thursday. We record on Wednesdays, right?
Yeah.
The show comes out on Thursdays. Mm-hmm. We've warned you guys several weeks before this episode that, you know, things are happening really fast in the world of PlayStation, and there are going to be times where we're going to have to put maybe 1, 2, even 3 episodes out in a week. This is a little mini episode because PlayStation has dropped the UI for the PlayStation 5. We finally got a look-see. We're finally getting to know what the big fuss is all about. They dropped a 11-minute and 35-second state of play all on the PlayStation 5 UI. But before we go into a deep dive on that UI, Kyle, how are you, sir?
Tired.
Yeah.
It's been a long day.
It's been a long week.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, real talk, the beginning of the show was a little different, right? We have some changes. We look really different right now on the video end.
Ooh.
We have a lot of changes.
I'm way brighter tonight. I don't know what's up with my lighting.
Yeah.
I literally don't change a thing.
You're angelic. That's what it is.
Oh, man, it's that UI glow.
Okay. So, real talk. There's a lot of things happening to the channel. We'll talk about that after we get through all the UI goodness, but there's a lot to look forward to. Before we talk about the UI, Kyle, you actually did it. Well, I actually tried. You know, Burger King, of all people, came out and said, we're giving away PlayStation 5s, at least 1,000 of them, if you order through the Burger King app. Were you successful, or get, like, what is it? You order through the app.
Yeah, you order through the app, you do a 2 for $5, one of those 2 for $5 things, or just spend $5 or more, you'll be able to use your receipt code.
Or I think, and I think we mentioned you can even just mail, like, you're interested in it.
You can ask, like, I saw somebody online did that for Taco Bell. Like, they asked for entries, and they got, like, 99 entries.
Oh, my God.
Okay, that seems like a loophole.
All you got to do is ask the king of burgers, the Burger King himself. Yeah. You have to approach the monarch in a respectful manner via mail.
But it's all
Port
it's
Chester
all
comes
through,
and gives it to him.
Yeah, it's all through the Burger King app.
Yeah.
You put in your receipt info if that's how you do it. I don't know how the app, if you order through the app thing, works.
Yeah.
It rewards you with a play token, and then you can hit play, and you basically, like, scratch it off on your phone, not with a quarter or anything like stupid. Don't
you just rub your finger on the screen.
Just rub your finger on where it says to scratch here.
That's cute, though.
Yeah, I mean, I want a free Coke that I'll never redeem, but you know, it's fine.
Yeah, I tried to. Real talk. I just wanted a Hershey's Sundae pie, and whatever burger is gonna get me to that $5 thing, whatever.
Yeah.
2-hour wait.
What?
And I was just like,
nah. Why is your Burger King hopping so? I don't.
Maybe. And I ordered it at like 6:30. I was just like, it's just not gonna get here in time. Maybe it is because everybody is
DoorDash or Uber Eats and stuff.
No, like I thought. Listen, first off, DoorDash has let me down a lot lately. But
I can't even get any of those things to deliver to my house. I'm like right outside the zone, so I have to go to the places to get the food.
Man, like old fashioned. That just how do you get Tito's burritos if it is not from DoorDash? That is something else. With that, Kyle. So, all right, at least you were successful to get one entry.
Sure. Yeah.
To the PlayStation 5 giveaway. But today we're talking about the PlayStation 5 UI, and before we do, of course, it's time for the Patreon pitch. We'd like to thank everybody who has over the year. This is our year anniversary, technically. We're just a day short. our patrons over at patreon.com/PS Trophy Room. That's right. We've done a whole bunch of changes. There's a whole write-up on patreon.com/PS Trophy Room about the cool changes. A lot of shows coming your way. But with that, I want to give a good thanks to our newest patrons, and I'm giving a double thank you because it's the same week, to our new gold patrons, too soon, Jason Von Metal and Nicholas from the Gaming Perspective podcast. I want to thank our platinum member, Trevor Starkey from That Nerdy Site. Please check him out. Trevor is such a great and amazing human being. And our good friend, Todd Burwitz. Our gold patrons, Chaotic Monkey, Gavin Gottfried, Griffin West, Erica Scherer, Jose Jimenez. Our Silver Plus members, Pink Orkbot, Marcus O'Neill, Ray Martinez, JB the Purple Monkey, Tim Ulf, and the Winner Gamer. Like we've said all the time, if you've ever gotten you through a tough workday, long car ride home, or this whole COVID situation, it really does help us out. You've started to see the improvements for yourself, hear the improvements for yourself, and you get some cool stuff for doing that as well. But more on that later. Kyle, it is time. We finally know it. And what pisses me off the most about this whole thing...
We almost finally know it.
Almost fine. We scratched the surface.
Yeah. We rubbed the sticker on the phone to get half of it.
So we talked about this literally on the last episode, which you should still check out because it was such a good show. But we talked about how, I thought it would be this week, how we would like to see improvements to the store and what improvements we'd like to see to the UI. Now it's finally here. There was an excellent breakdown, and I really think the best breakdown of breakdowns was on PlayStation Lifestyle from Chandler Wood, who really did break down the bits and bolts of this presentation. But right off the bat, what was your initial feeling on this being a state of play? Because it felt so much different, right?
I was so angry.
Why's that?
They just threw the state of play thing in there.
Yeah.
Like, it didn't have to be a state of play.
No.
I feel like they did so much work onto branding state of play, of showcasing what you're going to be playing and cool new games and whatnot. The UI is part of it. And only really the UI was a little weird. Although I do take a little bit of offense if somebody at Sony is listening to this show. They're like, hey, that Kyle guy, he wants a state of play to show off Sackboy and Destruction All-Stars. So let's show both of those games, but not really in a good way.
Right. Let's just show very surface level stuff to the improvements. It's so funny how, like, last episode you're like, yeah, I'd like to see more Sackboy and more Destruction All-Stars. And we got to see them, but just, like, really surface level. But with that, Kyle, it's time to square up this presentation. Let's do it.
Yeah. So there was a startup screen, Joe.
What?
When you first press the PlayStation button on the controller, and what was that icon there, Joe?
It was a PlayStation icon.
No, was it?
You mean the user icon?
Yeah,
Killzone.
Yeah.
It was a Killzone icon, Kyle.
That's a choice.
What's that?
That's a choice. Because Killzone's hasn't been around since the launch of PS4.
Are you telling me that this is perhaps them hinting at something bigger and better? Like a Killzone revival?
I mean, Guerrilla has two teams. Correct?
Correct.
And maybe they chose that because Killzone was like the big launch game for PS4 from first party. So maybe that's why a little like ode to the history of the PlayStation. But it could just be like, hey, we haven't forgot about the Hellgans in Killzone.
The Hellgans?
I think they're called the Hellgas.
Hellgas. Yeah. Remember, space Nazis.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was an interesting choice. I'm shocked it wasn't like Aloy or Nathan Drake or...
It's true. I think it's maybe showing an homage to the previous generation, seeing that there's a robust history. But yeah, I definitely can see why people are thinking that this is 100% a wink and a nod to something greater. Knowing that, the Killzone, or sorry, not the Killzone team, that the Horizon team did pick up the studio heads from Rainbow Six. Siege does hint and at least indicate that they're trying to do something. And hopefully use this IP, because I think there's something there for them. But with that, let's go a little bit in more depth, because since Schumann presses that icon, he's in immediately to Sackboy's Big Adventure, and we're greeted by stuff. So with that, let's start the breakdown.
Control. This is all about the control center. Before we get into the function of the control center and its cards, rest mode is slightly different from the PS4, which just plops you right back into a game with no barriers. Now you have a menu of cards covering the bottom half of the screen, and you'll need to hit the PS button to start playing your game. This would be like if the quick menu on the left side always came up first when you turned on your PS4. The control center functions much as the quick menu on PS4 does, except much, much more robust. It essentially pulls all the features of the main dashboard and more into an overlay so that you never have to leave your game to manage these options. Friends, messages, parties, etc., all of your basic console and account functions can be accessed from here.
All right, full stop. You had some thoughts about the control center. Broad strokes, the rest mode is pretty much the same functionality that we've seen from the PS4, just a little bit more robust, and entering into the control center, which is a bunch of card-like options that put you in various directions, which we'll get to in a moment. How did you like the organization of these cards? Because on Twitter, you had some thoughts on it.
Yeah, I do like that they showed how quickly rest mode boots up straight into the game. There's no more having that little brief period of the PS4 remembering where you left off in the game with like the little spinny icon underneath start if you suspend it. So that's pretty cool. I think that's as close as we're going to get to the quick resume on Series X, is that as long as it's in rest mode. If you turn it off, I don't think that's not going to happen with PS5. But I liked how clean it was. I liked how this is the trophy room. I'm all about my platinums and hunting trophies. I used to hate backing out of the game to the home screen to check my trophies and see what I'm missing, or hold down the PlayStation button and the left side pops up and then go down to trophies and it loaded really, really terribly. So the fact that it's way quicker, it seems like, to get into those things. And there was a little customized button on the bottom right, so I feel like you can also customize that bar on the bottom as well to what you would use more frequently. Because for someone like, I don't think I'll ever use parties, which we'll get to later. I could swap that out for trophies or swap that out for settings or whatever. Just have it on the quick. But the thing that bugged me the most and is why the Assassin's Creed games the last couple of years have like overwhelmed me, and The Witcher 3. There's so much there that my OCD is clicking in. Like, I have to go card by card and do all those cards in order to clear it, or else I'm not making any progress. Like, my OCD kicked in. It's like there's so much there telling me of what to do, and I realize like it's not crazy. Like, there's not taking all different directions, but still it's broken down into all these segments where it's like, this level you have this percentage done, the overall this percentage, this trophy this percentage. Like, that's a lot. That's a lot for my brain.
What it is throwing a lot of information at you.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
But
it's clean.
It is. The way I saw it is a really impressive step up to what the quick menu was on PlayStation 4. I love how everything's laid out. I love how everything is literally a button click away. The one thing that took me out of the experience on PlayStation 4 was playing a game, having a screenshot, it taking forever to load up that screenshot, typing out what I wanted to say on Twitter, or even like popping out of a game to go to a screenshot or go to my trophies and it taking forever to load. Those were moments that I could have had a better experience with without leaving the game. And that's what this offers. Like, not just the cards below, but the little quick menu below the cards is the thing that actually hypes me up a lot, because it's literally just a snapshot of the things that are most important as most gamers out there, like your notifications, like your community parties, your music, the microphone, your keyboard, your profile, your trophies. That stuff's really awesome. And seeing that it's just right there And to me, in a very clean-like manner, totally in for it. And now, so right off the bat, this UI is beautiful to me. Give me something simple and clean like Kingdom Hearts, but just the song.
Yeah, I think when this part bugged me a little bit, we'll get to a little bit later, but I really dig the home screen. I think the home screen is really, really nice. I like that way better than this card thing. But like I said, it's cool that everything is there. You don't have to exit the game and go to that home screen. Everything is press of the button, so you're like free and clear. Yeah.
Let's talk about
the next
activities.
thing they talk about, is activities. Within the cards are contextual ones for the game you are playing. Something Sony calls activities. The key with activities is that they can be used in a variety of ways by different developers, so we'll see this feature being implemented uniquely. In this example, the activity cards represent Sackboy's levels and show you progress, goals, and estimated time remaining to completion. Schumann talks about how these cards show both active activities and ones that are suggested to the player by the PS5. The video also shows some locked activities, indicating that there's a smart system in place that won't let you access ones that are unavailable to you in-game.
So this is the thing in Sackboy that was kind of giving you anxiety, was the progress in the levels and having the ability within, like, seeing the progress of skipping the parts of the level just instantly. And seeing that implemented in other games really intrigues me. I'm thinking of it, like, my thoughts on these activities is just like, how is a game like Call of Duty going to implement this? And, you know, there's always, when it's a new feature, are they going to implement this, right? But for me...
you did get a little hint of that with Destruction All-Stars.
Yeah.
They didn't really talk about it, but they showed the cards for Destruction All-Stars towards the end. And they had, like, a card for... follow this character's career path, and it showed 0 out of like 10 things unlocked. Then it had 8 versus 8 deathmatch next to it, which I assume you could just click that and go straight to that mode.
Yeah.
And don't have to worry about going into the menu. So when it comes to like a multiplayer game like COD, I'm sure there'll probably be a card of like single player, each different multiplayer mode, so that way you don't have to go through the menus. You know what you're going for, you just click it and you're there.
Like, if I'm playing with a specific loadout in Call of Duty, if I was the developer, and it sounds like to me, it's just like the weapon progress you've made with your MP5 or like your assault weapon or whatever, like your bazooka, I don't know. Like, seeing the progress there, or like what you're about to unlock, that would be really awesome. That would be actually really sick if you could just get into the systems in a deep manner, but isn't one that's intrusive to the player. I think that's really, really cool. And I think this is a cool indication of where things could be going for multiplayer games if that is the case. Like having to, like, if you're in Fortnite, you know, you could check out, I mean, it's great advertising for them. You could check out like the newest suit in Fortnite, or at the same exact time, you get to know when your dailies are dropping, or the progress you've made on them by just pressing the button in and out. I think that would be really like smart.
The developer stories card, right? The one that's all the way to the left. Like the updates and show what's coming to the game or whatever. Yeah. That's cool. I did like, not sure if I would ever adhere to this. But the cards for like Sackboy, it would give you, here's how long this should take you. Like estimated completion time, 10 minutes or so in order to beat the level, which I think is cool, especially if you're like, I have to be somewhere at a certain time. I need to know if I can complete this without having to stop at an awkward spot. And like that is cool. Yeah. But for me, I'm the type of gamer that I'll just say, all right, one more, let me keep going until I feel I'm done.
Yeah.
But it's cool that it's there.
I think the one thing that they stated was like, they want you in the game. They know your time's valuable, so let's not screw around here, was essentially like their game plan. And so seeing all these things, like giving you it'll take about 10 minutes to finish this level, is a really cool thing to see from them.
But how would that work for an open world thing though?
I mean, it's how they, I mean, that's a great question. I think it's how they use that feature.
So like, let's say Guerrilla for Horizon Forbidden West.
Right.
What would that be instead of time? Because like you can't really put a time unless you're like in a mission.
Yeah.
But
Maybe it's like distance
weird.
to objective.
Maybe.
And then like quest time to complete, something like that.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's not even that. It's just like, maybe it is how long is it to get from point A to point B, and then you can kind of judge that for yourself.
Yeah.
Type of deal. Because open world, I think that's a huge can of worms, but I think people smarter than us is going to figure that out.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Speaking about needing help.
Yeah, the cool thing, PS Help. These activity cards also have the opportunity to offer hints via both text and video, a feature that is exclusive to PlayStation Plus. Importantly, this is all still an overlay, so you can either picture-in-picture the guide videos with resize options and the ability to move it around, or set up a side-by-side option.
Kyle, this is actually really cool. This is something Google Stadia has teased. I don't know if it's actually implemented in there yet, because I don't think anybody plays Google Stadia. That's a joke, but at Google's expense, not yours.
And I can hear it, and I've already seen it today.
Yeah,
it is sort of similar to the Xbox Snap feature from Xbox One.
I think didn't they remove that Snap feature?
They did, but that was like a big thing before Xbox One came out, where like they would say, "Hey, Xbox, put on Internet Explorer," I think was the example.
Oh, okay.
And it would pop up on the side, kind of like you could do with this video, and then you can search for tips or whatnot.
Sure.
I think what makes this, better than that is you're not having to. You don't have to search for it. Like the help you need is already baked into it, and it's already going to bring you to what you're looking for.
Yeah, and the cool thing about this as well is it gives a great moment for, or it doesn't ruin the moment. There you go. The one thing that they can't stress enough is, if there's a spoiler about like the said thing you're going after, they will warn you beforehand so that you know what you're getting into. That is something that I really liked from them. Was just like, hey, we're not going to try to spoil your experience. We're going to try to guard this as much as possible. So that maybe...
Is that for this? I thought that was only like if you send a screenshot to a party. And
that is also
it's also part of it. Sweet.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the cool thing too is the picture-in-picture mode as well. So like that's the one thing where I'm always... What this feature does is it gets me away from my second screen experience, which is like my MacBook or my iPhone looking back and forth to see where it is. And I'm just following the video if I'm that desperate for help. I know we have a question about if this ruins trophies, so we'll get to that towards the end of the show. But so far, I really like this approach. It is a more controlled experience. And yeah, something that is going to take me out of like, Google searches, which then I'll stumble back into Twitter somehow. It does also give a good question to like, how does this affect places like IGN that writing guides is their bread and butter?
Yeah. Power picks and PS5 trophies. Like, that's what they do.
Yeah.
So again, this is all up, I think, to the developer to put these stuff in there. Mm-hmm. But I'm very happy that it's there if you need it.
Yeah.
My question to you though, Joe, is how do you feel with it being a part of PS Plus? Like, if you're not a PS Plus member, you're not going to get this.
That's cool. I'm fine with that because they need more incentives for you to be on PlayStation Plus. I feel like they're gatekeeping some of the things because I do think they're kind of preemptively waiting for the day that Xbox goes, Xbox Live is free. So, and they definitely still need that subscription service. So I think this is just a way, a thing there for if you desperately want it and a thing that adds value to PlayStation Plus.
Yeah. Plus is no longer just, you get free games every month and discounts in the store.
Yeah.
Like it actually gives you more bonuses, which I kind of like that a lot.
Yeah. 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 Let's talk about the feature you'll never use.
Yeah! Community Party. The changes to the PS4 party chat system now make sense, seeing the PS5's approach. Parties are now like community rooms, places where groups of friends can gather, play, share, and chat. It seems to take at least some minor cues from community platforms like Discord and Slack, implementing them in a console-friendly way. Schumann calls them, quote, persistent spaces to connect with the groups that you play with, end quote. Screen sharing in a party now pops up in a picture-in-picture window, so you can keep playing your game while your friend shares their own screen. Notably, here it shows Uncharted Lost Legacy, hinting that backwards compatible games will take advantage of some of these features too.
I love this setting, actually. PlayStation parties were never great. I think they were always kind of slow, kind of sluggish, and communities was never a feature really utilized that well. Whether it is for Xbox, PlayStation, anytime they try to throw communities in there, it just kind of doesn't stick well. But having this here is really cool for me and for the trophy room at large. That means like, hey, you know, the one thing that, like, if you have a stable group of friends that you play games with, you're constantly making a party. Now, if you can just pin a card to your control center, you're just there. And maybe you're waiting for your buds. Or in the terms of Discord or Slack, you're in there and you're just waiting for, like, people, let's just say, of like the trophy room community popping in these communities. And now you're just, you know, all hanging out. Like, that's a really cool feature for me, and I think for the future of even like just small time content creators, or like, yeah, like small groups of friends. You don't have to be, I feel like, confined. And I think the cool thing here too is like the picture in picture, you can see where your buddy is in real time. That reminds me of like the game share, right? Which we didn't get to see enough of. Yeah. That's really cool. So you can kind of help your friend while they're playing the best Uncharted, which is Lost Legacy. And you'd be like, oh, no, there's a hidden thing over there. You know what I mean? Or like, yeah, there's something to climb over to your right. Or you could just make fun of them as they struggle to try to do anything. I actually really like this feature, dude.
I love that I have a completely opposite thing to you in a positive way of things that we can also use these features for. Like, so like, I'm not the type of person, you all know this, that I'm going to put on a headset and talk to you while I play a multiplayer game. That's just not what I do. But I love that we can have a party, and let's say the Casa de Bad Bit, right? Where everyone in there in the Discord, we all picked up Miles Morales, and we're all playing through Miles Morales, and we can make a community room, a party, and just be like, here's all these cool screenshots that we took as we play the game, and not having to worry about spoiling anything, because it will give that little warning. And like we can talk through as we're playing. Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. And as far as like the screen sharing thing, this is a very niche thing, but Extra Life this year, right? Like we are trying to figure out how to do it remotely. This way, I can have someone screen share to me, and I can use that screen as like a stream thing. So I don't have to worry if it works the way it should, right? Yeah. I think that's a great way to do it. Or like for multiplayer games content creators where they're playing a multiplayer game, instead of having to worry about two cams, you can just record both screens and have the other person's perspective and your perspective on the same screen.
Oh, that's cool.
As kind of like a unique kind of view that way.
I'm pumped. This is a cool feature. I dig this. Let's talk about capture from the OS.
Yeah. Another expanded feature, the PS5 OS, will feature more robust capture options at the system level. While they didn't detail this feature too much, it's a great solution for games that don't have their own dedicated photo mode.
This is the feature for me. I take photos like crazy, and so like I just paused it here at the Destruction All-Stars, like having it where it's sitting at the bottom. And it isn't just like a tap to kind of guess where the screenshot's going to be. It's in real time. That's really awesome, because I feel like that's going to make it so that I'm taking the picture that I want rather than guessing what picture I just took. And then seeing at the bottom, you have multiple options, and it looks like settings and photo filters. And then the record button or streaming right then and there. This is all cool stuff when it comes to the capture or the create button. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think it's cool. I also take a lot of pictures. I don't necessarily screenshot that or upload them a whole lot because, let's be honest, it's a pain.
Yeah.
And the fact that they've really showed how much easier it is. Mm-hmm. And I love the ability, I can just speak my caption. I don't have to type it all out, type the tweet out, and mess something up. It's all I have to do is speak it, and it should work flawlessly.
Yeah.
That's what I really dig about that a whole lot. And like you said, it is straight. It's right there. You don't have to go into the settings to find the photo later to go upload it. Like, it's right there.
Yeah. And so at this point in the trailer too, it is only fair to notice that when there's jumping from game to game, there is no smart, what was it? Not smart delivery from the Xbox. What's the Xbox one? Sean Capri's yelling in his car about it.
Quick resume?
Quick resume. So, no, it's the quick ball. Like, you know, he's just yelling at me. There's no quick resume. No. But when you're going from game to game, it is really fast.
Yeah, they're showing off the SSD.
Yeah. It is practically instant in terms of like, I think there's only, I think like a 5-second jump from, I keep on wanting to say Little Big Planet, Sackboy, to this game, and you're playing it instantly. And the cool thing too is it again in the control settings where, you know, you see your friends are playing and you're just jumping in the lobby with them. Super cool.
Yeah.
With that, Kyle, we're almost done here. Oh my goodness. Let's get to the PlayStation 5 dashboard.
Yeah. Here comes my favorite part, because they didn't talk about what I wanted them to talk about. So we'll get into that later. The dashboard is a great evolution, relatively simple and familiar design with a big display that will look great in 4K. The biggest change I noted here, aside from reorganizing the look of each game card, was moving media apps to a different section. Games will no longer be pushed down in the list because you wanted to watch The Boys on Amazon Prime, which you should.
That was Chandler. That was all Chandler.
Which I will echo Chandler. You should watch The Boys.
Yeah, season 2 is. Whew, hey, Resi.
Girls get it done.
Girls get it done, dude. Okay, so real talk here. They this is straight up an evolution of the PlayStation 4s. A lot cleaner, a lot more simplistic. It's showing you the games, and that's it. Your big thing yesterday when you were talking about this was the media app was garbage. We now see that it's kind of like a tale of two PlayStations. You have the game side and a media side, which you didn't see.
No.
But does that give you hope that this is a way for them to clean out the PlayStation 4 dashboard that was very cluttered?
Yes. And the reason why is because it's that tab. It's just a tab over. I realize you're probably thinking, what's the difference between a tab over and then going down into that media app that we have already and having them all lined up there? The difference to me would be, obviously it's going to run a lot smoother on this OS. It looks like it runs fast. And the way that the game titles, the game cards are on the home screen, I'm sure you'll be able to customize that for your media ones that you use. Yeah. You're not going to have things that you don't want, and it'd be easier to probably get rid of if PlayStation does the whole, here's this cool new thing that's coming out that we think you should look into.
Yeah.
It's also really cool to see this home screen. We now know why like themes aren't going to be a big thing going forward.
That's sad.
Because it is a little sad, but I love that when you're on the game you want, the whole screen is taken up by the game.
Yeah.
Yes. I like that a lot.
Yeah. I'm going to miss it because I think the themes are the thing that kind of make it yours. It's kind of like the sticker to the MacBook. Like that is it to me. Like I love my Ghost of Tsushima one. That's a little bit of a bummer for me, but I do like the simple and clean look. And the cool thing is like when you tab over a game, it's not loading all the garbage information. You can actually tab down and it's hopefully more useful information. When it comes to that explore button that they talk about very briefly, I want to get up her for video watchers. This is kind of a cool snapshot. Hopefully they utilize it correctly where it is like official news from PlayStation. So the PlayStation blog's going to probably be here in force. And it's pretty much a curated, kind of take it like an Apple News where it's curated news for you. That's how it seems like this is going to work, where it's curated content that's fit for you as a gamer. So you don't have to be on IGN or, PlayStation Lifestyle or, Push Square or GameSpot or whatever the case may be, Twinfinite. I'm just trying to think of great places that people work at. All of them, Seasoned Gamer, like all those great places. You can kind of just come here, and if you're just basic of knowledge of games, you kind of get what you want here, which is really cool. Did this feature kind of strike you as promising? Because it looks like we're going to be the beta testers. Europe's not getting this at launch.
I honestly, I could care less about this Explore thing.
Fair.
I can't see myself diving into it a whole lot. And it's even now on PS4, I'm going to equate it to the live section. Mm-hmm. Like where you see all your friends earning trophies and like you can like them and whatnot. And like it's a cool feature. It's just something I never think to go through because when I turn on my PlayStation, I'm there for like a purpose. Okay. And that sounds bad for everyone that does utilize the live section. I don't mean to talk shit about it. Like you do what you want to do, but when I turn on my PlayStation, I'm there to game, I'm there to watch YouTube, and we're there to watch Netflix.
Fair.
I don't need that kind of tab.
I would like to see, like, because I know like IGN had like an app or whatever, but like I would love to see you kind of personalize it. So like if you're like our good friends over at Seasoned Gaming, the Iron Lords, like to see them have a spot here would be really cool, would be really unique. To get more voices out there. This would be a great way to amplify that. And who knows, maybe, the trophy room one day they'll recognize our greatness. About time, if you ask me. Right. But yeah, that's the thing that I'm really looking forward. Also, I just realized this because I'm watching this on YouTube. I'm putting it on OBS and whatnot. And I'm sorry for anybody who's watching the video and seeing like the little YouTube line and it's getting driven crazy. But this is number 1 trending on YouTube.
Oh.
Cool. You love to see it. 4,800,000 and something change. And it came out this morning.
Why aren't we number 1 on YouTube trending?
You know what? The Illuminati? Is that a good thing?
Yeah, that's true.
Let's talk about the PlayStation Store for a second, because that's the amount of time they gave to it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll go into it. Yeah. PS Store is now integrated right into the OS instead of loading up as an app once you click on it. The demo didn't really browse it, so it's hard to determine if this design is a good change or not. Mm-hmm. But if it's faster to load, that's a quick win right there. Sid Schumann says, quote, "It's a more personalized experience." And that is exactly what you said that you wanted, where it's like, hey, or what this promise could be, where, hey, you like Dead Cells? Here's Foregone. Here's all these other type of games, 2D, side-scrolling, Souls-like Metroidvania games. Like, here, play them. Like, I think that'd be great. I think that's an excellent, excellent decision.
That's what I think where I got triggered, Kyle. Is when Sid Schumer said the same exact shit I said. And that's the part I was just like, really? You had to do this today and not on Wednesday?
Yeah, right.
Spider-Cat was our title. This could have been it,
Yeah.
Yes. But... And I think this is the overlying problem, I guess, with the state of play, which was we saw a surface level of what things are. We didn't really get a deep dive. It's cool that the store is going to be, faster because it's baked into the system, whatever the fuck that means. But at the same exact time, show me the store.
Yeah.
Show me. Is it just a simple thing? Well, you can't because, not all games are, they don't want to, like, let's just say they say Cyberpunk 2077 is coming out on November 18th, and then on that video, and then like they have to delay it a week, and then people who watch that video get confused or whatever, or they put false dates. That's probably it. Is that they probably when this video was made, there wasn't hard dates on games, and that's probably why they didn't show off the store. But at least give me like a, hey, just like state it for the record, even put like a warning in there. Hey, this part is just practice. These are old games, so, whatever. Like, just show us there. Like, not finalized. This is the part where we told you it's not finalized.
They did give that, Oh my god. Not trigger warning. What the hell is...
What you were about to see here is rated.
Oh my god. Disclaimer.
Yeah.
At the beginning, like, this is a pre-production PS5 in a controlled setting.
Yep.
When this comes out on November 12th, some things might not be as it seems here. There might be some wrinkles in it. Be aware, type of thing. So that 100% could be something along those lines where,
yeah,
it's not really looking all that great on launch. But hey, we've been living with PlayStation patches for how long? So like, it's whatever.
Yeah, I hope they do give us more as the weeks go on, which we've kind of seen. I mean, like the Spider-Man stuff is promising. I think with for the most part of like, this is what you're getting. It's just focusing on games. Yeah. Simple, easy. We're not going to bog you down with stuff. I like that. I do want to see more, and I don't want to wait until launch day to see more. I don't think that should be the case. And I think this allows them to have those little info dumps as the time goes on so that we can get at least a snapshot of, hey, this is what the store looks like. Hey, this is what media looks like. That would be really, really great. And then we start seeing that Demon Souls, that Destruction All-Stars, Sackboy stuff as well. We need to see more of that. And I think the way the verbiage Sid was talking to me, Daddy liked. Simply put. That's why we're never going to have Sid Schumann on the show. What I literally just said. But like, I liked it in terms of like, it gave me hope. They're like, not yet. I'm like, okay, so like next week, I'm assuming we could see those things. And maybe, you know what? It'll actually happen next week and not after we record next week. But yeah, I think it wasn't enough, if that makes sense.
100%. And there are some things that I 100% saw and they teased, and I was so mad they didn't deep dive into it. Like they clearly on Sackboy, when they had all those cards up, clearly glossed over and went right past the trophy progression cards.
Yes.
Where it's like 33% towards this bronze trophy. Why aren't you talking about this feature yet? Is that next week's thing? A deep dive on trophy? I want to know how close I am to capturing all the bug snacks in Bug Snacks. I want to know how they're going to showcase that off.
Yeah.
And PlayStation and trophies are like synonymous with each other.
Yeah, you got it.
So like I don't understand why they're so guarded with it. We just had a PS blog post about it, so it's not like we don't know that there's changes.
Yeah.
It seems weird not to do it for this and then have the media tab be its own separate thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think we definitely are going to get that. Again, this kind of felt like, not to say rush, but this didn't have the production that we're usually with when we see PlayStation stuff. That said, I'm going to read a few comments from folks over at the Casa de Bad Bit Discord server, which, Kyle, now that it's officially, the Trophy Room of PlayStation channel, I can finally get that off my chest. Are we renaming Casa de Bad Bit because it makes it about me, not us?
Whatever you want, Joe. I'm fine either or.
Easy to please. Because I do like Casa de Trophy, Casa de Trophy Room.
Trophy Club?
Trophy Club, Trophy Boys. No, they would leave people out. But like the two eyes, where you're like, lean into boys. I don't know. That's the thing I'm gonna have to think about.
Whoa, hold on.
What's that?
Hold on here. Stroke of genius. It's Andy House. It's the House of Andy.
Andy House is
where you go to Andy's house each and every week to get the mail and the questions.
Holy shit. It hurts for branding, but god damn it, the segment we do each and every week, which is just doing it right now, here is the segment everybody loves, Andrew House's snail mail. Of course, you can send your questions in or comments to the Casa de Trophy Room Discord server or PS Trophy Room on Twitter. This week, it was only Discord. It was literally last minute, and we got some great responses. This comes from Jadis Gamer. He writes in, I wish they would have covered swapping between games a bit more, because we didn't know if Sackboy was closed or if it was left running. That's a good question. But I love it. It's simple, it's clean, easy to navigate. Also, the PlayStation Store with immediate access is killer. Okay. Oh, also, these are people's thoughts on the UI, by the way.
I do think, Jadis, that Sackboy, it could have been a line at the beginning, but they said picked up right where you left off, and that's because the PS5 was in suspend mode or rest mode.
Okay.
Because if you stop it on the video, whenever you watch it, again, when it goes, or at the end where it goes to power off or hit rest mode, it'll have that subtext under rest mode what that does. And I think one of those things is suspend games.
Jedi Master Ren writes in, the PlayStation 5 UI has finally been revealed after months of long-awaited anticipation. It comes with some jam-packed features that make interacting with the next generation of PlayStation even better than before. I'm most excited for the progression cards for each game. What is your most anticipated feature of this UI, and what other features are you still holding out hope Sony will add later? What was your favorite feature? Was it the dictation?
I mean, that is a great one. Yeah. I do like the whole the game help. I like that a lot. Especially if you're just hunting for that last thing for like a certain trophy and you just can't seem to find it. And there's that option there, so I'm not having to step away from the game and go on my phone and search it up. Like it'll be right there theoretically if the developer puts it in there. And like what I really want to see is the media tab, because I use my PlayStation for media every day. So like I need to know what it looks like.
Here's the thing, I'm an Apple boy, so like I am thinking like, well, this holiday I think I'm Apple Pod Home Mini and then like an Apple TV, and I just get all the things there. But I would like, my whole thing is like I am holding out hope. I do want my PlayStation 5 to be the end all be all, to be my Netflix machine, my Hulu machine, and my Schitt's Creek machine. But I need to see that media tab. I want to know how well this thing runs. That said, yeah, my favorite feature has to be between camera or the dictation. Like me talking into it, I want to see how accurate that is, or if it's doo-doo garbage like Siri. Who knows? Remember when I said I wanted a thing that's all about dictation? That's Apple product, that Siri controls, and I just called it shit? Goes to show how brainwashed I am. Anyway, Nakachaka writes in, what are your thoughts on the new trophy tracking system? Does the new system help out or take away from the experience of getting that platinum? I'm still new to trophy hunting, so I'm definitely all for it. The more help I can, the better. What you said you like it, right?
Yeah, I'm not going to abuse the system. I'm still going to play the game the way I've always played the game, is try to naturally get them and try my best to get them, and the fact that hopefully it's true and it's real, and that card in this one for Sackboy was a real thing where it'll give me progression for the trophies where do X amount of damage or pick X amount of things up, and it'll track your progress towards that. That'd be fantastic.
We just don't have enough details on it.
Just not enough. Yeah. I don't know why. I didn't even see the trophy section, like on the bar or on the OS.
We ain't got
I didn't see it anywhere.
Yeah. I'm not hating on it. I think people that are trophy hunters, like the hardcore, they're not gonna ever mess around with it. It is the dum-dums like me who are gonna be abusing the shit out of this.
Sure.
Once I know that there's a shortcut to something, I am taking it. I am white personing my way to the top, man.
I approve of that.
I'm gonna know what it feels like, man. I'm gonna know what the mountaintop feels like. Kyle. The next comment comes from Gazgodi. They write, a huge fan of picture-in-picture screen share mode. I'll frequently watch one of my buddies play games, and now it's cool that I can watch them while playing my own. I only hope that they get rid of the block screen function where it won't allow you to view them playing at certain parts. Hopefully that is a thing that, I know, because they do that every time. If you're streaming straight from the PlayStation, I understand why they do it, but it's the weird like blur, like porn image thing, right? Where it's like Vaseline and digitized. It's always gross. And I hope there is a setting where maybe it's like once you get into a party, it's just like any sensitive materials here in terms of gameplay, have the option to blur it out or not, you know?
Or either that, or I think it was a lot of, forgot what game did it, but a lot of the story stuff they would black out.
Yeah. It's like, show me the dong or not. You know? 90s kids will understand that blurred image so well. So well, man. Jesus. Channel 99 changed my life for the worst. The most famous Seamus I've ever met in my whole entire life. You could write this down, pen a letter, whatever you need to. Call your mayor, call your governor. Who knows? They need to know who the famous Seamus is. They write in, dang, I forgot to write in my thoughts. I think the UI looks good, though one thing I noticed on Twitter is that the icons are very small. Like, even for someone with good eyesight like me, I couldn't tell exactly what's what. That is one I saw Steve the Blind Gamer. Mm-hmm. He was just like, dude, this is inaccessible. This is, I hope that there is a, enlarged, image for these things. I couldn't imagine that's not the case, but it's Sony.
I feel if there's not, that is a huge undersight.
Yep.
Or oversight, excuse me. That is inexcusable. The fact that Naughty Dog put out one of the most accessible games this year in a crazy amount of way in Last of Us Part 2.
Yeah.
And that is a flagship game for Sony. And then in the next generation, take what you need in order to play the game and be able to know where you're going in the OS to get to those games.
Is this an OS for ants?
There's gotta be an option to make it bigger. There has to be.
Yeah. I know some supplements that'll help for that. Channel 99. That's a reference back. Gavs Goody also talks. I think it will be bearable on my TV but when it's on my phone screen, who knows though? And I think that's the thing that we have to think about here is if, PlayStation Remote Play is now just PlayStation Remote Play, not PS4 Remote Play. We know mobile is going to play a huge factor in next gen. They have to be aware of that. So who knows? Fingers crossed. Hopefully that's something they address. And then Jose Jimenez writes, I'm not sure anyone has called Sony out for this, but why is Facebook still not an option for sharing photos? I thought it was supposed to be sorted out last year, but as far as I know, it still hasn't. Thoughts, feels, farts. You got me with the flatulence joke, Jose. Okay, I like it.
I find it,
go for it.
I find it weird because it was a thing.
Yeah,
I sort of wish it was still a thing, even though Facebook sucks in general.
Yeah.
Just because I have all these screenshots, Joe.
All of them.
And I don't want to upload them to Twitter one by one in different tweets. It's not like I can reply to the said tweet with a different screenshot or give me a place to put them all in an album, make it easier for me to do. I'm not going to rifle through my drawers for my old USB stick and plug it in my PlayStation and download them all to there and then bring it over to my PC. To me, I'm lazy. That's too much work for me. I want to be able to just upload it to one spot and then I can drag it from there.
Yeah. Even if it's like Google Docs would be great if they partnered with Dropbox, because Google, that's the one thing is I think one of the reasons is everybody's becoming a competitor. Like we got Facebook Gaming, they got their streaming service, they got Oculus. Maybe they don't want to do that. But yeah, I definitely see why wouldn't you want an Instagram filter, right? Like this, like shooting this portrait so you could put this on Insta. That's what the kids call it. Or just the gram. I'm hip. I'm not 30 yet, you son of a bitch. I think that would be a way you want people to share their experiences. So even if your Facebook just doesn't make sense, hopefully maybe the ink hasn't dried, but hopefully we get to know more. Again, we still need to know so much more. This really just did scratch the surface. Even Nate McErney writes in, very clean, love it, does seem to lack an equivalent to quick resume though. All the activity options and how fast things load might not be an issue. And I think that's the other thing. This thing is going to be a lot faster than the Xbox Series X. Yeah. So it theoretically was like 2 times faster and that thing's already super fast. So maybe it isn't an issue because this thing is, Quicksilver.
Yeah. I said this on an episode a couple weeks ago about Quick Resume, where I was like, it seems just like a luxury, But now that I see just how impressive it is, and even though the Xbox Series X is powered off, and it can still remember things for like a day later when it's been turned off of where you left off in several games, that's pretty damn cool. But the fact that the PS5 has that SSD and things load in super fast anyway, I think that trade-off is one that I can live with. I think most people can live with.
Yeah. This episode of the Trophy Room is way longer than I thought. This is excellent, fantastic even. We're running close to, I believe, an hour. I want one last question here. Lethal writes in, so what's everyone going to complain about after this? Question mark. What does Sony still have to prove?
You heard it. Trophies. Show me that media.
Yeah. Yeah, show me the media. But I think, like, for the first glimpse, I think this is great. I think this is what we want. I just want to see a little bit more. But other than that, now we know everything. We even know Spider-Cat, and I think that's a great place to be, right?
It's a great place.
Man, we're weeks away. How many podcast sleeps are we? Like 3 weeks? 4 weeks?
Man.
4 weeks, I think.
I think so.
Yeah. Four podcast sleeps. Unless Sony drops something else, and then we have to do another special episode.
Yeah. From today's recording on Thursday.
Yeah.
Yeah. 4 podcast sleeps. Four shows for your listening, main shows for your listening pleasure until the PS5 is in our hands. Hopefully, you're getting yours from where?
PlayStation Direct. They gave me an email. Everything's fine. Right. They're going to ship everything at the end of October. They're going to start shipping stuff to me.
Mine is through GameStop, and GameStop sometimes lets you pick it up the day before as like a midnight opening. So I might have it on before we record that last podcast. Because the show will be out on the 12th. It comes out on the 12th. Yeah. I might have it during recording.
Awesome.
But we'll see.
We'll see. Only time will tell. Yeah. Only Shu knows.
Only Shu. You know?
Nobody knows but Shuhei. Nobody knows the trouble We had such a great show. Why did I ruin it? Lastly, before we close out the show, we were supposed to announce this on Monday, but I thought, hey, listen, while we have all the assets here, and because Apple already updated the profile, we'd made a few changes to the trophy room.
And a new co-host. I'm gone. See you later. This is it.
No, people can believe that.
No, I'm kidding. Absolutely not.
You're integral to the change, Kyle. Integral part. You're gonna be here forever and ever. So, this is something I've been thinking about for a while now. All right, no more UI stuff. If you guys came only for the UI, fine. But if you're here for the feels, this is the part.
This is about you.
Yeah.
And I.
Exactly.
That's what this is about.
That's what it is all about. And seriously, like, because of us talking every week for the past 2.5 years now, right? Or going to be 2 years. 2.5? No, 3 years. Shit. God damn it, time.
Yeah.
You know, because of us talking every week, this has become my favorite thing to do every week, and the most meaningful content that I make. And over the past 2.5 years, I've just not felt that on YouTube. It's just sad and lonely. And I'm tired of kind of like chasing the trend, as it were. So what I decided to do was close Bad Bit Games. It's no longer a channel in terms of name. Still same, web feed. You don't have to go anywhere else or resubscribe anywhere. If you're on YouTube, it's still the same place. It's just rebranded to the Trophy Room, a PlayStation channel. What this is going to mean for the channel is we're focusing just on PlayStation stuff and focusing on weekly content rather than trying to chase the daily content. So what I have planned for next week is we're going to start doing video essays, commentary around the PlayStation ecosystem that comes out each and every Monday, where it will focus on more evergreen content. We'll focus in on a more meaningful conversation, whether that is how I feel about the UI so far, or all the way to learning about the history of PlayStation, the studios, and the games. I want to do some more creative stuff with that channel, and rebranding it to the Trophy Room, a PlayStation channel, just really made sense. On top of that, we've seen the overlay, the new intro, the new whole bunch of stuff on the podcast. Podcast doesn't change. Trophy Room's perfect, and Kyle's the most perfect co-host. Most of the most important changes are all because of this man. The intro, especially, even the name, goddamn it.
Oh, man, that intro. Holy crap, yo.
Fire, dude. Jesus Christ.
That's exactly what I wanted. Joe's like, I have a vision. I was like, yeah, well, what about this?
What about this? And let me tell you something. Huge shout outs to Adam Leonard, to
Absolutely.
Diego. I'll put their tags down below somewhere so you get to, if you're interested, I don't know, whatever the case may be, just shout them out, tell them how good work they did. Diego
Absolutely.
did the intro, Adam did the art. They hit it out of the park, and so we wanted to revigorate the channel now and the podcast to make it look and appear more next gen. We're taking that extra step. Then on Fridays, what I would like to do, because we get a lot of like, hey, can I be on the show? I'd like to, do something with you guys. It's really hard, especially in COVID situations, to do something like that. Especially, Kyle, your schedule's crazy because you're a teacher for the kids now, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, what I decided to do is do an extra show on Fridays called This Week in PlayStation, where I just take a guest, creators, big, small, different places on the internet, and I just interview them about the news surrounding PlayStation. This could be PlayStation creators, Xbox creators, PC creators. It's about having a overall topic that we're talking about and discussing. And I think that's going to be something that's really unique, and hopefully we could pan out what that show exactly is by the end of the year. But those are the three main shows that you can expect on the Trophy Room of PlayStation channel. Is video essays, the PlayStation podcast, which is the flagship show, the Trophy Room, and This Week in PlayStation on Friday. So those are the big changes for YouTube. When it comes to the podcast, we've gotten a lot of, hey, Joe, can you do it live? Right now, live is really difficult. Technology, it's something that we'll look towards in the future, but nothing to yet. Like, not right now, at least. Still need to find my footing there. When it comes to Patreon, Kyle, it's been a year since we've been doing Patreon, which is a crazy thought. We've learned a lot. Man, we've learned a lot about even doing the soft launch we did in October. We learned what worked, what didn't. Even like trying to underpromise, we still overpromise. And COVID came in and just knocked out what we can really expect in our schedules around. So what we wanted to do was be more consistent. We're not consistent with you guys enough. I want to make it so that you're at least visiting once a week, checking out this, what's in store for the Trophy Room. So these are new tiers. The first 4 tiers are going to be completely changed from the ground up. Our $1 tier is no longer just a thank you tier. You get Real Talk Radio, where once a month, Kyle and I sit down, we talk. We will now field questions from you via Patreon, via the Casa de Trophy Room Discord server, and we will answer your questions, and it's a more personalized experience, so we're getting to know each other more than just PlayStation. Our bronze tier, our $3 tier, we've changed it around. And this is where the weekly stuff comes in. This is the one that really excites me, Kyle, is the Trophy Room After Show. Each and every week, we talk about PlayStation, and it's great. But then there's always the other 30 minutes. Yes, Kyle? You have a question?
This should probably wait till after the show. Can we rebrand it to After the Hunt?
Oh, okay. I like that because it makes it sound like Bloodborne we're in. After the Hunt. The Trophy Room After the Hunt. I was going to say After Dark, but then it makes it feel like we're just like, this is a Howard Stern production or something. Yeah. Fine. The Trophy Room After Hunt. Each and every week, when we record the show, we're usually on the call 30 minutes after the fact. So what we're going to do is take those recordings and make a show out of it. So whatever questions are left extra, whatever thoughts or feelings of the week, again, it's more personalized. We're going to talk there as well. So
any funny tweets we find, we're going to laugh at them.
Exactly. So it's more, a little bit like if we've missed anything during the main show, we're talking about it. If we miss a question, we're talking about it. We'll also still try to field questions for patrons as well. And I think this is a really great way of being consistent, giving you content that you really want. And having us have a weekly thing makes it way more consistent. That said, we're moving the Road to Greatness, our Bronze Plus tier, over to $5. That's our $5 tier. Now, it was originally a $3 tier. If you were a bronze member, don't freak out. You don't have to, if you really like the Road to Greatness, which a lot of you do. It's the most popular show that we have on Patreon. Don't worry, you're grandfathered in here. You don't have to re-up $5. You've been with us for so long. That's how it's the only way of us. We don't want to dick you over. So really, if you want to up $2, sure, but you don't have to. But starting now, here and now, the $5 tier is the Road to Greatness, where Kyle and I do a deep dive on the games that have come out that month. In November alone, we are going to do a Miles Morales Road to Greatness, Demon's Souls Road to Greatness, Cyberpunk 2077 Road to Greatness,
oh my God,
and then a Gamescast roundtable surrounding the PlayStation launch games. November's a busy month. Just think about that.
God.
That's 4 Road to Greatnesses.
Are we doing the Ubi slate too? Like Watch Dogs and AC Valhalla?
No, that's where I draw the goddamn line.
All right. I was like, oh my God.
We'll be here for the rest of our lives. There will be some times where, like, I don't know, Kyle, if you're going to do the Demon Souls, we'll bring someone else in there that is the Demon Souls expert. But we want to try to make it where it's just Kyle and I talking about the games that we've been playing. And this is a great thing. Again, November, I think we're going to have like 9 extra shows. It's going to be nuts. And again, we know that's a super popular show. Thank you all for the love. And the silver tier is credits each and every week on the PlayStation, on the Trophy Room podcast. That's where we start shouting y'all out. That's where you'll see the credits start to roll at the bottom of the screen here. If you're silver plus, silver or up, that's where you get to see your name on the show, be included in the show. And then Patreon virtual thank you cards, because I suck at writing. So it's just a more personal way of us thanking you for being a Silver Plus tier. This used to be top tier. Top tier was way too hard to do. Not enough people watched it, sadly.
It was the finding a judge.
Well, God,
it was kind of tough.
Needle in a goddamn haystack. But yeah. I would love to bring that show back eventually. I know we were just discussing it in the Discord last night. Hopefully, maybe next year, COVID gets a little less crazy. We could bring that show back. Kyle and I, we were talking about variations that were super depressing.
Oh my God. I hope I get to do my version of that. I hope.
Oh my God. It is a fucking bloodbath. That is the case. But again, that is something we'll definitely think about in 2021. But right now, it's just on ice. And that's the big changes to Patreon. We really want to get better with y'all, doing some really, really awesome content, making it more consistent for you all. The last thing, hopefully this will be up by Monday. Yes, there's still more stuff. We did open a merch store. So it's just some basic designs. You don't have to be a gold tier member to now get some swag, as I rep, Spawn on Me. You actually go buy Spawn on Me stuff. They're fantastic. But then after you're done, if you got some money left over, support us. We got some ideas for designs that we're going to be doing. I would love to get a Pride shirt. I would love to get a Black Lives Matter shirt. And of course, if we would do those things, all that profit goes to charities. None of that's going to come to us. But in terms of the regular merch, that is just another way to help sustain the show and rep the show the way you want. So yeah, head on over there. Link down in the description. Again, that should be up on Monday, the 19th? No. Yeah, I think 19th.
Monday 19th, yep.
Yeah, nailed the dates. There you go. And so with that, those are all the big changes. It's now Trophy Room YouTube. It's now a whole bunch of changes to Patreon. So many shows. Panic attacks about doing all the shows. Oh yeah, I forgot one more thing, Kyle. I knew I was forgetting one more thing.
No.
I'm going to start streaming. November 1st or November 2nd. It's a Tuesday. Stream schedule as follows: Monday through Thursday, noon EST time. Come watch me be bad at games. Come watch me play the latest and greatest in all things PlayStation, starting with Miles Morales and Demon's Souls. Twitch.tv/PS Trophy Room. All this is because of your generosity. It's been amazing. And it's it's dumbfounding sometimes. I'm just taken aback by all the support.
When it does come to streaming, I'll hop on from time to time.
Yeah.
I don't want to make it seem like it's just a Joe doing all this extra stuff.
Yeah.
Whenever I can, you will hear my voice and see my face on the streams and me being real bad at whatever multiplayer game we're playing.
Yeah, like Ghost of Tsushima tomorrow.
Oh, hell yeah.
On Friday. Well, this comes out on Friday. So today or in the past. I didn't include you because, again, COVID.
No, I get it. Absolutely.
God,
absolutely.
Kyle already does too much. You know what I mean? These kids, how do you deal with them? How do you reach these kids? Kyle.
I try.
That's been the Trophy Room, a PlayStation podcast made by the players for the players.
A bonus episode.
A bonus over an hour. I know. I am so sorry, Kyle. I know you had places to be 5 minutes ago.
It's fine.
Okay.
It's all good.
Tell the president he can wait and to wear a fucking mask. Kyle, where can people find you, sir?
Mr. K-Step on Twitter and on PSN. Find everything I do with Kinda NYC over at KindaNYC.com or at Kinda NYC on Twitter or twitch.tv/Kinda NYC.
And you can find me over at Mr. Badbit. Yes, I'm still using that at. It's the best one. You can find the show over at PS Trophy Room. And you can follow the show over at YouTube/The Trophy Room, a PlayStation channel. It's still new. I will mess this up for weeks to come. So go over to the YouTube Trophy Room, a PlayStation channel. Help us out over there on Patreon. You know where to find us. All the links are down below. Again, bottom of my heart, love you all so very much. With all that said, all that out of the way, Kyle, thank you for being literally the best co-host for these 2 fucking years.
Oh my God.
And going on 3.
Here's to many more.
Here's to way many more.
Way many more.
With all that said, with all that out of the way, everybody keep your wits about you, keep hunting, and keep playing PlayStation.
Stay safe, please.
Wear a mask. We love you.